Well, you know who it is, everybody. Check it out. It is your boy, Marcus A. Wright. It is that time. It is time for the Right Mentality Show. I have guests that I've been kind of waiting to interview. He even called me and said, Dog, what's up? Where you been? Why you hiding out? You scared? You don't want me on the show? I was like, whoa, let me get him on the show. I got Champ. That's right, Chris Hampton, the champ. Champ, I am. The champ. I got him on the show. I'm super excited. I'm going to allow him to introduce himself before we get into this male conversation on the champ and the right mentality mindset. So, champ, can you tell my audience a little bit about you? Give me a breakdown. What's going on? Who are you?
Wow, wow. Well, my name is Chris Hampton. I'm Champ I Am, and I'm a motivational speaker, leadership coach, community leader, and publisher, writer. There's a lot of things that are me. I'm not just one thing. So I'm just here as a business to be able to help people to realize that there's a champion on the inside of everyone. I'm a husband. I'm now a grandpa, so they call me Papa. I'm gonna get a shirt that says they call me Papa. But got three grandkids that are keeping me live and healthy and just showing me how to love at a total different level. So I try to show people how that there's more, that there's layers to who we are. And you know what? And this whole journey in life is about discovering who you are. And that's what it means to be a champion, is when you are moving and you're living at your best, not someone else's best, but you decide who that victory is. You define what the winning line is, and our job is to help you discover that and release the limits off your life.
So, you just said a mouthful. You're going to help me release the limits off my life. But wait, hold on. You a pop?
I'm a pop.
Oh, wait. He a pop, y'all.
I'm
Not
pop.
only is he a pop, he is a dad, a husband, a grandfather, a coach, a speaker. What he did leave out, what I want everybody to know, when he's hanging out with me, when I do the operational stuff, because I'm the chief operation officer of the Leadership Experience Tour and the Fair Consulting Group. He is one of the people that does the MCs. That's right. He is a man of multi talents. That's what I can tell you about the champ. But I got a question, champ. What made you come up with the concept of Champ I Am? What was your thought process around that?
It just happened. Well, Champ I Am, it's also a play off of my name. So Champ is, Chris and then Hamp. And they used to call me Hamp. And I just put them all together and said Champ. And then the I Am, I just got an understanding because I used to live a life doubting myself,
Mm-hmm.
fighting insecurities, personal struggles, not always thinking that I was enough. And then I had a revelation about myself at a point in a period of time that I found out that I am everything that I need. And everything that I need is on the inside of me. So that's where that I am comes in. So I got the champ, which is my name, and then I am, which is who's on the inside of me. And then there's also a spiritual connotation, because I've always been
Mm-hmm.
raised up in the church about my connection with God, and that the I am is the great I am, which is God, and that he's in partnership with me. So everything that I need is in me, that's been deposited by the I am. And then if there ever comes short on my life, I know that there's going to be the other part that's going to come, and that I find myself not lacking in any good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where Champ I Am started to come from. It, as a business model, it didn't come out until, I guess my testimony in my life is, I was not speaking as a living. And I knew that I was called to speak. I knew that I'm supposed to be impacting the world, but I got
Mm-hmm.
stuck in the rat race. And when I met by the rat race, I was working three jobs. Three jobs. I was
Hold that thought, because I need to go. You just said something that we need to unpack for the audience. You said that you felt, and we'll come back to the three jobs, but you felt that you weren't enough.
Oh yeah, and that's when I found out that most people that have greatness on the inside of them are short sighted when it comes to who they are, because they always, if you hear anybody who was great, they always thought that they weren't meant for the task and that they were limited. They may not have been the most popular person.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I shine as an MC, I'm really an introvert. And you can tell by the end of the event. By the time I'm like outgoing, but by the end of the event, I disappear. It's the reason why, because my cup was emptied. Okay,
Now,
my people
y'all saw my
here,
facial expression
my people
when
here.
Cam said I'm an introvert because I'm around him. So I'm surprised he said that, but I do understand what he's saying. When he's done, he does go, and because his cup is empty, because he puts his all into everything he's doing. Now, I have a question for you, Champ. Like for a guy, right? We're men, we talk all the time. We're husbands, we're fathers. I'm not a grandfather yet, but you are. So thank God and blessings to you and your grandchildren. But I want to understand, do you think as a man that we have a hard time talking about that we don't feel that we're enough, that we are insecure about something, that we're afraid of something? I mean, as a man to a man, do you feel that as black men we have that issue?
I think it's in every man because of how our society and our structures are structured. You're either alpha or you're not, right?
Oh,
You either
okay.
you either the big dog at the table, and we learned that from kindergarten on up.
Yeah.
And then people they use the dominance factor as a way of getting your self identity. So
Mm,
if you've been in that situation, and especially because us introverted people are usually wise people because we're watching the crowd, so we're not the first
okay.
to jump into things. But an
Hmm.
alpha likes to be up front all the time, and if you're not taught how to function in your originality, you'll fall behind an alpha. And
So
yeah, go ahead.
do you think that, because there are some of us that are alphas and some of us that are not alphas, even the alphas, are we afraid to even talk about how we feel, like that we don't feel that we're enough?
Well, I think what happens is, and again, it goes to social structures because again, you're either in or you're out. And it
Okay.
wasn't until I learned how to embrace who I was that I found out how I fit in.
Ah,
It's a
ah.
difference because I learned that okay, I don't because I can be when I know how I fit in, I know how I lead.
Hmm.
And therefore I don't have to be number one in front of everybody to have the influence in the room. Where I
Oh,
was trying to take it by force, we're watching it and realize when I realized how I fit in, I realized that my influence could even direct an alpha. But I
ooh.
had to understand my
Na-
strength. I had to understand who I am. I had to understand what gifts I come to the table with and learn. And that comes through experience, time, and wisdom of being able to learn it. That comes from having mentors that understand that there's many personalities. There's not just one road to do it. Because it's what comes out, the very thing that I thought was a negative that wasn't getting me in the group is the
mhm,
very thing that people are now coming back to me and
mhm.
asking for later in life. But I've always been that person.
So you just said something that's interesting. So as a man, because we have so many things that we're dealing with, right? And we don't want to share, or we're a little nervous about sharing. We just kind of trying to figure out how to get through it. But as a gentleman, you're saying that you're not an extroverted person, you're not that alpha that's out there. But what people don't realize is you have an ability to even direct, coach, train, help an alpha that may be afraid to talk about what he's going through, not understanding some direction he may need, and you have the opportunity just by observing and you're coaching to be able to guide that person through where they're trying to go. Would you say that's something that you do well?
Yeah, and it's not the problem. It's nothing wrong with being an alpha.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with being an alpha, but we have to learn where the alpha fits in because everyone has their strength and their weaknesses. So what I look for is how do we complement each other to make the mission go better?
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
because there's going to be a need to have that alpha up front, but there's also going to be the need to have someone like me that's being able to influence without pushing pressure. There's a time
Mm,
when pressure is needed, and there's a time when we have to learn how to use the softer touch. And if I'm intimidated because everybody's telling me, well, you're too soft, well, I need you to be the machismo. Machismo's not helping nobody right now.
mm,
So I have to be able to be comfortable with who I am and what I bring to the table. That's why you get the imposter syndromes that are out there, is because
hmm.
we think we all have to come the same way. But when I talk about what's on the inside of you is the very thing that makes you unique. is the very thing that's going to put you forward. But because
Mhm.
you're comparing yourself to the attributes of someone else, you never release what's in you. And what you don't realize is what's on the inside of you is the very
Mhm.
thing that people need. They just don't know
Mm.
they need it yet.
They don't know they need it. Look at the champ breaking it down, because before we get into the 3 jobs you have, I'm looking behind you and I see the gentleman that I have admired my whole life, which is Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
What made you put that photo right there? I mean, is he someone you admire as well, or?
But I admire him because he gave himself a name. He told the world how you are to address me.
Mm.
So when I walk in there and they say champ I am, oh, you spelled champion. No, I'm not dyslexic. I knew exactly what I knew. But I
Mm.
know that once you get a load of champ I am, you'll never look at champion the same. Why? Because I changed the definition and made it wider. I made it stronger. And that my champ
Mm.
I am now becomes my identity.
Okay,
Because the
okay.
world now addresses me as champ I am. But I told
Okay.
the world to address me as champ I am. And I stayed consistent with it. And that's what Muhammad Ali did. He said, "You listen, my name's not Cassius anymore. It's Muhammad Ali." And I remember there was a fight where a dude got the living daylights whooped out of him.
I remember that fight, boy.
He got the
You
living
gonna dress me as Muhammad Ali?
daylights out of him. He said, "What you gonna call me now?" Now I don't got to beat the living daylights out of you, but my confidence is telling you I win at life.
Right, right.
Because I know what I know my track. I know that the race that I'm supposed to run. I win at life. I set the barometer of what success is in my life. We're like, you ain't the richest person in the world. They don't know your name yet. But that doesn't negate that I'm the champ I am.
So, did y'all hear what he said? This is profound. He said he sets the barometer in his life. He didn't say the world set it for him. He said he set it. So, he is telling you who he is, what he stands for, and what he's going to bring to you in his personality and in his coaching. So, he's not afraid to tell you who he is. And that's what I love about this man. He is fantastic. He just broke it down for you. Now let's
That's
go back to
what we have to define what success is, and
mm-hmm.
that's what the problem is that when we define success, we say, well, success is money, success is your car, success is how big your house is, and we don't. What you did was you limited your success to resources, and resources
But
dry
I
up.
want some money though, champ. I mean, I want a big bank account.
Ain't nothing wrong with the bank account, but it's the bigger picture. It's my purpose that I'm living is going to provide the bank. It's the purpose that I'm committed to that will provide the house. It's the purpose that will give you more resources that you can handle. If you can focus on the purpose, that's going to be your barometer of success. The money is something that's going to help you get to that, but you can't say just because I'm having money that I'm successful, because there are people that have a lot of money and they're committing suicide.
Mm.
And the
Say
reason
that,
why
brother.
is because there's a term that I use called you're a life abuser. Because
Oh.
whenever you're not living a life in purpose, and the reason why you're not living a life in purpose, and something that I help you with, is because you don't know what you're called to do. You don't know what you're designed to do. So whenever, and Dr. Miles Monroe said one time, he said, wherever purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. So we find ourselves abusing our jobs because we're looking at our job as a means to pay the end, not as this job is here to develop me so that I can build my business.
Can I ask you one thing?
Yes, sir.
Can you go back and say that statement one more time?
The Dr. Miles Monroe one?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. He said, where purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. That means, an example, if you don't understand why you're married, you'll abuse your marriage. If you don't understand why you're at the job right now, you wake up and go to the job every single day and hate being there, and you're abusing your job opportunity, which was supposed to be a resource that was supposed to take you to your future, but you minimized it to a paycheck.
Y'all heard that? We minimize it to a paycheck because we don't know. We being life abusers.
I'm starting my own club right now. No, we have Alcoholic Anonymous. We got the Sexual Anonymous. All these addictionals. I'm saying I'm starting my own club. I'm saying no to life abuse.
He's saying no to life abusers. No, that's what he's telling us, and that's what his coaching is about. And that's why this man is a champ. Champ, I am. Like he said, he took it. He wanted you to understand his name. But he took the word that he ain't thinking about the word being misspelled, because it's not misspelled to him. The word is spelled correctly, just like Muhammad Ali said. You're gonna call me Muhammad Ali. You're not gonna call me Cassius. It's Muhammad Ali. That's my name. This is what Chris is trying to tell you. Now, you said you had 3 jobs at one time, man. What was going on with you with 3 jobs?
How Champ I Am started. Yeah, because I was working 3 jobs. I was in the insurance industry. I'm still in the insurance industry. But I was doing my day job in the insurance industry, then going and being a security guard at night. And I was also a full-time caretaker until my mom passed. So that was 3 jobs back to back, going in between jobs, giving her medication, showering my mom, going in and going right into the next job. Eventually, you see, life couldn't sustain that. You can't sustain action for the sake of action. Because when I came home from work from the night job, I felt heart palpitations. And I went to the point that it made me go to the emergency room. And when I went there, the cardiologist came in and said, Chris, you had a heart attack. Now, I'm in my late 30s, right? And here's the thing. I screamed on the inside, not on the outside, but something on the inside. That champ I am on the inside just screamed and said, no. And I was like, and I heard it again. It was like, no, it wasn't Chris, you almost died, because it ended up being a false alarm. But he said on the inside of me, he said, you have not done what you're supposed to do yet. And I always knew it was speaking. And the argument that I had with myself in the emergency room, and you're going to find somebody in this situation, was I was like, nobody knows my name. And on the inside, something didn't speak. But who's going to pay for me to be nobody's going to hire me. Nobody even knows who Chris Hampton is. He said, speak. And then what I did was, after I got up from there, I went where people spoke. I joined Toastmasters. And when I joined Toastmasters, I joined and I went there every Monday. And I introduced myself and I said, my name is Chris Hampton and I'm a motivational speaker. I'm Chris Hampton, and I started writing my stuff and doing. And the reason why I feel like I'm great at 7 and 8 minute speeches because the Toastmasters only gave me 7 and 8 minutes. And then they got over there and they were like, Chris. They're like, Chris. And I ended up being a competition speaker because we had national. So I'm only in there for 6 months, and then all of a sudden they gave me the Speedy Gonzalez Award because I was in there just mastering stuff because I was a man on a mission. And then I went for my first speaker competition, and there was 2 of them I went for, and one of them I wasn't even supposed to be in, and I won that one. There was one called Table Topics, and they gave you 1 minute to speak, and I would take 1 minute and make it work. And I ended up being first place in that one. And then the next one was humorous speaking. I didn't know it was funny because I didn't think I'm sitting here talking and they're just laughing at me. And I'm like, and I could be insecure and say, why are they laughing at me? But I was saying important stuff and I was being dead serious, but they were laughing. Came in second place and came in first place for New Jersey, came in second place for Pennsylvania. I'm now an award-winning speaker with only almost a year of me deciding to go where speakers go. And then from there, Champ I Am started to develop. And it was funny because every time I showed up, there was this lady in there, an old lady came up to me and was like, well, Chris, all you do is motivational stuff. Can you do anything else? I said, ma'am, I can't do anything else. I can't do anything else. Listen, if I talk about cats, I'm going to motivate you because it's on the inside of me. It's all I know. It's the champ I am. So I said, listen, I can only be the authentic me.
Amen. That's right. That's the thing that people miss, being the authentic self, because that's what we have to be. Now, Chris, I need to understand, looking at those two photos behind there, two words in between the great Muhammad Ali. The first one is conquer, the second is execution.
I'm going to show you real quick. There's actually four.
Okay, and hustle and grind. But let's just stick with the conquer and execution. What would you say to people out there trying to do whatever it is that they're trying to do in life, start their business, be great at their job, etc.? With those two words, conquer and execution, how would you motivate them within a minute with both those words?
Well, you have to have a vision first. You can't conquer unless you have a target that you're going after. Okay. So once you get a vision, then you'll start to get a plan for your life. And now you knowing what to conquer. So it's nothing worse than being in a battle and you don't know who the enemy is.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to start with the end in mind and work your way backwards so that you can now be able to prepare for the pitfalls that you're going to conquer because you
Okay.
already seen the path that you're going to go on. Right.
Okay.
And then your execution is making sure that that you're executing and you're being accountable to the plan that you're on. And you have to be able to stay true to your hustle, to your grind, so you can execute, you can conquer and execute.
Listen, I don't know. This is not enough time. So y'all know I'm going to have Chris back. But I want people to understand, how do they get in touch with you? How do they talk to you? How do they get connected with you so that you can coach them? What event do you have coming up? Let us all know what's going on, man.
Awesome. So you can reach me at champim.org. That's my website that you can reach me and you can contact me and communicate me through there. I'm also on Instagram. You can see the timeline. I use my Instagram as a timeline from when I first started to where you see me now. So you see the evolution of Champ I Am, and that's Champ I Am Speaks. I'm working right now. I have a few conferences that I'll be doing in the new year. I'm also going into different nonprofit organizations and teaching within the next few months on conflict resolution and actually setting a culture for leadership because I do leadership coaching as well. I'm also the commissioner. I didn't get a chance to talk to you. We'll talk about that in another session about how to tie your work with your passion and make your passion and connect with the cause. I'm also the commissioner for the city of Camden's Art, Heritage and Culture Commission. So I was able to build that platform there. And then in the new year, I'll be at, we also know Shelly Fan. I'll be teaching at her conference, speaking on Teach Me How to Heal. And I have a part where I talk about creating the space. It's an acronym to heal. So, and I'll also be at the Leadership Experience Tour in March. That's one of my favorite events to connect with and to grow myself while meeting other people and growing my network.
Well, you heard it. You know how to get in touch with him. He gave you so many ways to get in touch with him. This has been a great opportunity to speak with the champ, to understand him, his network, and what he's bringing to the world. He's not afraid to say it. He's not ashamed to say it. He is 100% his authentic self. He told you the name is Champ I Am. That's right, Champ I Am. If you don't know it, you better learn it because this young man is about to take the world by storm and just blow it up. But you know who it is. It's been your boy. And you know how to reach me at Wright Mentality. Wright Mentality on all social media. Wright Mentality everywhere because you got to have the right mentality mindset to move forward. So it's been your boy, Marcus A. Wright. You have a great day, great night. Peace.